Echo here again. Welcome back to Resonant Rise. I'm here on the server. What's in there? It's empty. Okay. I'm here on the server and I put my sorting system back together. Now, the FPS issue we had last episode was due to something in my smeltery setup over here. It was either the open blocks tanks that had lava in, it was either the liquid transposers moving the lava, or it was the actual smeltery lava tank block. I think all that stuff in here. That guy, that seared tank. But either something between that, and the translocator in between was causing a leak, an entity leak or something, which was gradually ramping up my RAM higher and higher until everything just got real choppy and horrible. So I pulled out. I've left that out for now because I don't actually need this smelter anymore. I don't think so. I might not put this back together. I might just leave it there for now. I pulled all this out, unfortunately, so I ripped everything out of here. I had to put it all back together. So I've just filled all these back up. I actually want to. Now, is my date and stuff in here? Now it is. Okay, so one of them, and cobble. There you are, 389k. So I'm going to click them back into there, just so I've got access to them from the front. Not that I really need to be honest, but just for fun as much as anything else. And if we, is it a shift click with a wrench to lock them? Yeah, locked, and locked. Cool. So this is all back like it was. Couple of things slightly different. One is this is a higher priority than the barrels. The barrels are all on priority 1 on the things here. The chest here with a 64k cell, which stores my non-barrel stuff, is on 2. So things will go into that chest before they pick a new barrel. So that's basically the gist of that. So if I was to put something in, rather than it go into there, that empty one, it'll go into there. So that's why we've got that on set to that. And then I've got this incinerator with nothing in it at the minute, nothing set to it, but this is set to 0. So things will go into this storage cell before they go into there, unless there's something set in the storage bus, which means that will overwrite, so the things will go to there. So things will get trashed as they should. Everything else will go into here or into the barrels. So I just need to keep a little eye that this doesn't get over 63 items. Another thing someone mentioned, well, quite a few people mentioned about the ore dictionary stuff. Now I wanted the thermal expansion ones, but I'd need one if I want to use a unifier. I'd need one thermal expansion copper ingot anyway, but my machines all seem to be kicking out metallurgy ones, so it doesn't matter. And if you do get different ones, that you can put them in the front of the barrel, and it will automatically change the ore dictionary definition of them. Because I've got storage buses set to exact, then they won't go into the barrels if they come into my network. But what they will do is they'll just go in there. So any odd, so if I get an IC2 copper, turn up in here, I can just pull it out of there and stick it into there, and it'll match it. I don't have to go messing around with any other extra blocks or anything. So I'm going to leave that as it is. So in here we've got, what kind of order are we in here? I guess priority. Yeah. Nah, I just don't know what to order it by really. I'll go by. Don't know. I'll stick to priority for now. And of course the shards are all there. The bees are all in there and there, like they were before. I've not set up the igneous extruders for the smooth stone, sand and glass production as yet. What I have done though, this is really cool. Now this is really cool. It's not going to work so well once I want auto processing via recipes. But if you check this out, if I get out of my wrench, so I've got the Ender IO power coming from the capacitor banks here, and the power runs to there and to that way. It looks a bit funky down here. Do you know why it looks funky? Because if we switch to the item mode, check that out. I've got the new Ender IO item conduits in here, so I've got that connected to an export bus. No, not to a ME interface, and I've got this one connected into the bottom of my purification chamber here. Now, well, I did have this set using a translocator, by the way, but the water stock kind of ran out, so I've got power into that guy from the side through there, and I've got water in for the top. That's what sends the gas into the bottom of there, of course, to make it so that I can use this. You can either use flint or you can use oxygen in that bit. So I've got these set. These are really nice. So this is an update. This is the newest version of the Ender IO cables, the item cables. Now the previous version wasn't so good. This version really is cool. If I right click on the plate there with an empty hand, come on, empty hand, do your thing. There we go. As you can see, we've got we can set it to insert, we can disable it, we can set it to insert and export when you get a separate insertion filter and a separate extraction filter. You can set it so that it needs a redstone signal or doesn't to extract. You can have it just extract. So obviously on this I've got it done just insert, and I've got 5 of my ores there. What else do I want to put into here? Well, not everything goes in here, but let's have a look at other ores we've got. I don't think factorization will go through there. Vincium certainly doesn't. Zinc or Cinnabar doesn't, because you can't triple that. I think osmium does. Yeah, osmium certainly does. So I think it's maybe just them 5 and osmium. Lead doesn't. So what we can do is we can add osmium to this. Get down there, full. I'll put osmium in. Because osmium does go through like that. And then if we go around here, what I've got set on this one behind here, I'll just break this facade a sec. And I love the fact that these can all be fully facaded without any blocks, so no messing around with having to do it with vanilla blocks and stuff. These are Foundcraft blocks in it. I'm facading it with them. So in there I've got these things, and these are in the extracts mode without a redstone signal. And of course they've got metadata, they've got MBT data, they've got our dictionary enabled. You can either set this as a whitelist or a blacklist, so loads of options in here. So if we add the osmium dust to there, and then if we add osmium ore to there, what you're going to start seeing happening is it's processing my osmium. Sweet. At the minute I've got to go into this chest, but what I'm going to do is set up in a minute. We'll get to big reactors, by the way, and I'll cover what I did in the live stream yesterday as well. But so much to do in so little time. So there we go. That's simple as that. That's chucking all my osmium in there. So now I'm going to break these facades off. And I'm going to add. Now the only issue I have with this, I've noticed, is that sometimes to be able to. There we go. So these are the empowered Ender IO conduits. The empowered ones can move a stack at a time. I put a link in my yesterday's Utopia video to a spotlight on this block by a guy called Vagrant. It's a really good video. It's well worth, if you plan on using these, well worth a watch. He covers them in great detail. So the only issue I might have found is before, when I wanted to click on that, I kept getting the conduit first. Yeah, look, I'm getting the conduit. So to remedy that, I found that by, if we take the conduit out a second and then put it back, so making it that the first thing on the block, the nuking on the block, then I should be able to click in, it'll set me into there instead, and it has, look. So that's one of the things you might have to be aware of, is that it seems to work better if this goes in first. But you notice though, you can check that out. You can click on your conduits as well, and you can make them to be in outs. You can set it in out. You can set it just to extract power, just to insert power, or you can disable it completely. Really cool. And I'm guessing the liquid ones are the same now as well. So what can we do with liquids? Oh, we can, because I've done it up here. Liquid ones. So that's extracts with no redstone signal. So that's, instead of having this reservoir on pump mode, I've just got that sending water into my hydrogen generators. Nice. So what we're doing here? What we're doing here is we want to set this to. Extracts with no redstone signal. And that's all we need to do. So that's going to pull anything out of there if we set the to the bottom, the extraction to the bottom. So dark blue. Let's disable that to the side. Oops, I want to go grey. There we go. So now Now, what I need to check is that the bottom? Oh, I've got unconnected them full. So, there and there. Now, what I'm going to want to do is disconnect some of these. No, I'm not actually. Crusher, I can in out stuff I want to crush. The enrichment chamber, I can put certain things in there that can double up but not triple up. So why you no leave? Oh, bollocks! Get off. You was not empty. You was not an empty hand. So you're set, right? I believe. Click full. Extract, active vote signal. That should be fine. But it's not working. Is it because? Is that the bottom? I always thought that was the back. Okay, so is that the bottom? Why are you no extracty, my friend? I'm going to cut the camera. No, well, I'll do this in a bit. For now, then, I'll just put it back into there. I'll work out what's gone wrong with that. And I will let you know before the end of the episode. Now, that is ejected into a box. Is it because I've got auto eject set on? Doesn't seem to be. Extract. Let's extract everything. Won't make a difference, will it? No. So I think as long as nothing's in the filter, nothing should be filtered, right? Oh, check this out. Didn't notice that. Oh look, shit. There we go. So you don't have to put them on first. You've got little tabs there. Awesome. So if you've got more than one block, that's brilliant, man. If you've got more than one block in the thing, then you can do that. So I will suss this out, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'll put them back into the chest for now. But I'll let you know. I want to get on with, because I want to definitely get on with big reactors. So there's all stuff that's just going in there at the minute, and I can just sling them. I'm actually over a full barrel of copper. So I need to start doing upgrades for these as well. That's another potential issue is I'm not upgrading them quick enough. Well, I'm going to have to, certain ones I'm going to have to upgrade because we get a lot of coal, we get a lot of copper, iron, stuff like that. So there's that bit. So for this bit, for example, I'm going to go to the power there, and stuff like, let's have a look. That gets a single one. You can lacerate into a dirty. I like smelter when it gets a single one. So that'd be one that'll go straight into the smelter on its own. So I could set that to in and out, and on the insertion filter I can set dark iron to it, and I can set dark iron to the interface over there, and that'll put dark iron into there. And it wouldn't put it into there because it's not telling it to, but it'll put it straight into the smelter and smelt it and back out. Once I get that ain't working that way. Oh, because I turned that off. Titty. There we go. And then cinnabar's the same. Can put that straight in there. Then there's certain things that can double but not triple. So you've got your yellowite, for example. Yellowite we can double but not triple. So yellowite will go into the enrichment chamber there, but it won't go into purification. So using these pipes, I can set it to go straight into the enrichment chamber and just join the loop. So you can loop things in. Really cool. The only problem is I have to have loads of interface because they can only carry 8 things. But and then I've got certain other things like ferrosaur, which I'm going to want to process through the sag mill, because the ferrosaur and the sag mill, as you can see, I put some in there. Ferrosaur and the sag mill gets you the pulverized shiny metal, so it's worth putting that through the sag mill because that gives you the bonus from thermal expansion. So yeah, very cool. Right. So before we get into big reactors, let's quickly go over what we did in yesterday's live stream. Now, my plan for yesterday's live stream was to start some witchery stuff, but it turns out that you need a lot of wood for witchery, and it was very time consuming. But I did get a bit done, and I got some more done after the episode, after the stream. But before the stream, I set this gate up to a little new place because my base is getting laggy anyway, so I need to start spreading out a little bit. So I've got this little place here that's not chunk loaded at all, and I've got these portals, gateways from Ars Magica. Pretty straightforward. I have covered them in my Utopia. What you do is you need a chisel stone block at the bottom, just bricks in this kind of pattern. You don't need them three bricks. They're optional. No, that one. No, them two are optional. But the rest of this structure you need. This thing is called a keystone receptacle. There we go. Keystone receptacle uses a couple of items in there. Ender essence, which you can loot off mobs, or you can make in the essence refiner, like so. And what else was it in there? Oh, just some Vintium dust, nice and easy, and some stone bricks. And we can make keystones for these, and set into a specific one. But I'm not going to do that until I can automate it. I'm not sure if I can automate it yet. And then you just need a light nexus nearby, which will send it power. So you can get them, they kind of cycle through, so if there was more than two of them, as there's only two on the server, I just go back and forth between the two slots. If other people put one, it just adds to the network, so you'd have to rotate through them all. There we go. So I made here a little witchery, well, I've started making a little witchery tower. I don't know if I like the corners, or that corner better, anyway. Well, I've got a nice little rope ladder here from Open Blocks, that just looks cool because it swears about. And up here, we've got, first of all, I've got my little witch's oven, and then Poppy made me these. These are called fume funnels. So if you look at these, fume funnel, we've got these things here. It's just glowstone, some buckets and lava bucket, some iron blocks and iron bars. Get you these fume funnels, and what that does is, what we're doing here is, we burn saplings. So let me grab some spruce. I've got plenty of spruce growing, I think. I've got some spruce planted, so that's fine. We burn saplings, and we need them clay jars that you've seen before. What these fume funnels do is they increase the chance of getting a fume, which is this thing. This hint of rebirth, this is called a fume. So fume funnels increase, one, they increase the speed, and two, they increase the chance of getting these. So without your fume funnels, you've got a real low chance of getting this, so you're going to burn through loads of saplings. With these, and then with the next one, the filtered fume funnel, that we need to make these fume filters for, that we need this attuned stone for. Attuned stone needs a ritual, so that's a bit further on. These give you a 90% chance of a fume, so you really want to get these on as quick as you can, and then I think you really want to get the upgraded to the filtered ones as quick as you can. So that'll be, when I do a Witchery episode, that'll be one of the first things I'm going for, is to work out the ritual to get those guys. So as you can see, I've put loads of saplings in. We've got the various fumes: Breath of the Goddess, Hint of Rebirth, Whiff of Magic. So Whiff of Magic comes from ruined trees. So there was a little bit of it is quite long-winded in the stream, but you'll be able to work out in more detail if I cover it too quick here. We need this stuff called Spanish moss. And how you get Spanish moss is you make this stuff called mutandis, or mutandis, I guess. Mutandis, and that needs some of this hint of rebirth, wood ash, cactus green, bone meal, egg, and a mandrake root. Now I showed you last week how to get mandrake root. I've got those planted under my base at the other place. You get mandrake seeds, you plant them, there's some mandrake seeds. You plant them to grow into flowers. If you pick them up during the day, you get nausea and you get attacked by a little creature that can kill you. If you pick them at night, then you just get these mandrake roots. That's how you get them. And then the other thing that was in there comes from burning spruce saplings. So that's what we're getting there. This stuff, Hint of Rebirth. And of course you get the wood ash as a byproduct. So that's all the stuff you need for Mutandis. So there's the Hint of Rebirth, and there's your wood ash in the corners. And what you do with that is you click on saplings on the ground. So let's click on one of these ungrown spruce saplings, and it can change it to something else. So there's a rowan. So that's one of the first things you need is rowan trees. So that's a witchery tree that you get by doing this. So the first one of them you get by doing that, and then once you get them you can plant them. As you can see, I've got some rowan trees growing over here. And then you can keep doing it. Dead bush, hawthorn sapling. I ain't got any of them yet, so I'll keep that. So Witchery adds its own saplings, its own trees, and these trees all have a specific item they give. They all have a specific fume that they have a chance to drop in. So at the minute I've got spruce, which gives one that we've used, birch, and then I've got the rowan woods, and I've got some alder saplings, and I've got that hawthorn sapling now. So alder is Witchery, and so is that hawthorn. So that is how you get them. So you'd keep doing that until you got a what's called a Spanish moss block, and then you'd use shears to clip that Spanish moss block. Shears. And you can see we've got Spanish moss all over the place now. But use shears to clip that like you would normal vans. Then once you've got one like that, you can just plant it like you would any normal van. So which is why I've got this this witch's tower all covered in Spanish moss, all growing off it, all messy and horrible. So Spanish moss you need to make your poppets. So you see we've got some Spanish moss in here on the use there. See, that's going to make our poppets. And poppets, get several of them. This is a poppet tape shelf. So the poppet has to either be in your inventory or it has to be in a poppet shelf. It has to be bound to you as well. I'll cover that in a later episode when we make some more of these. But basically I made that one voodoo protection poppet because Pokefen had a voodoo poppet of me and he kept stabbing me. So I made this voodoo protection one. You can see it's taken some durability damage because that's when Pokefen's been attacking me. So you can attack people with him. It wasn't doing much damage. It was just like knocking me about and moving me about a bit. But it was quite fun. Again, it'll be on the stream, which I will be uploading over the weekend if you wanted to see that. So yeah, you have to link them to you with these things called a tag lock kit. You have to click on your bed with them, or click on another player with them, I think, or under the player's bed if you want one of them to make the actual voodoo doll. And then there's this thing called a poppet shelf. Poppet shelf, and that was made using some of these attuned stones, never brick, green wool. These attuned stones, lava bucket, and whiff of magic. And whiff of magic comes from processing the rowan tree saplings. So if I got some rowan tree saplings, which I don't seem to have any of here, I need to make sure I get some more rowan tree saplings before I destroy them all. I process them in there. That gets me the whiff of magic, which is that one. And then you can make these attuned stones, and these attuned stones are what go into the ritual to make the filtered fume things. So you can see it all adds up. So yeah, if I had a full set of poppets, and as you can see there's a few, and these do save you, but they are consumed on use. There's a voodoo one, so if I got a tag lock kit of Pokefen and made a voodoo poppet of him, I could do stuff to him. They have to be attuned to it. They have to be either in your inventory or on one of these poppet shelves. So if they're on a poppet shelf, they'll still act as if they're in your inventory, so you'd have to carry them, which is a nice little touch. So that's about as far as I've got with Witchery. So that was a little quick run through of what I've been doing now. Oh, and I made this thing. Now, if I take that off, Poppycock's kindly gave me the a wither skull as well as the fume funnels. So this. Let's break this. This is the other next thing you need. This is called an altar. Altar blocks use Exhale of the Horned One and Breath of the Goddess, so you need to burn saplings for these. I believe one of these is spruce. Oh, that's oak, okay. So Exhale of the Horned One is the oak trees. I clicked on the wrong thing. And Breath of the Goddess is birch. There we go. So birch and oak gets you the stuff to make your altar. And then it's just some rowan wood, so you need rowan as well. So you can see it's a progression thing. You need to be sorting saplings out when your witch's oven. You need to be changing saplings with mutandis to get your rowan. And then it's just all the basic stuff. And what that gives us is 6. I'm going to put this back in the right place. Where was the? I want to line up with a door. That's probably right. So you get 6 of these, and once you put 6 down, it becomes an altar. And you can see if you click on it, it'll show you how much power your altar's got, and it'll start filling up. And this is what you need to do rituals and stuff. This is my ritual area. You need a space of 15 by 15, so 7 either way. You have a keystone here, and you have chalk markings around. So this is going to be my eventual ritual area, and you see that it's got 1108. Well, if I put this back on, this wither skeleton skull, boop, oops, shift click him on there, check that out. It's multiplied it by 3, so it's 3 times powerful now. So 3/324, so I can do more powerful rituals by having that on there. There's a couple of other things you can add on there. There's a thing called a chalice, a filled chalice, uses redstone soup and a chalice. Redstone soup, as you can see, uses various things, a tongue of dog, wool of bat, very witchy stuff, very awesome. And the chalice uses one of them attuned stones again and some gold. So that multiplies it again. And yeah, very nice little mod. And there's also books that it adds, which helps you along your way with stuff. In-game books. They don't fit on a bookshelf though, so if the Witchery mod maker ever makes this, please make them fit on Bibliocraft bookshelves, because they make storing books so much cooler. So we've got this one here. This is called the Circle of Magic book, and you make that with a whiff of magic from the rowan saplings, and a belladonna, which is another flower that you get from seeds. Belladonna seeds, there we go, that you get normally just by breaking grass, like you get any seeds, like you get wheat seeds or whatever. And this explains all your rituals. So you can see we want any circles, blah blah blah. So it tells you all about stuff. So rite of binding, bands a wavestone to the location of the ritual. We'll talk you through all these. So what do we want for the fume thing? We wanted, what was it called? It was let's have a look at that again. Filtered fume funnel. We want attuned charged. So I guess that was that rune of charging we just saw there. So let's go back again. Rate of charging, recharging fuse power by standing in the circle. Need a potion of regen. You need 4,000 altar power, so you see you have to up your altar to get that. And you need your attuned thing in the middle, which I think that's the waystone, which I think that banding thing does. So this is stuff I've all got to get into. Yeah, there we go. So that's, I'm not going to dwell too long on Witchery, but I made a start on it, and I'll be doing episodes on it. Now, someone did mention in the stream yesterday, I'm kind of focusing a bit too much on magic stuff. I don't mean to. There's just a hell of a lot of stuff to play with in this, and there's a lot of good stuff. So we are going to go back, and there is something else magic here I want to cover as well. But it's going to make this episode very long, so I think I'm just going to show it really quick and then actually cover it in the next episode. I actually made my blood magic armor in the stream. I've got it over here, and you can see it's got sigils and stuff in it. That's going to take quite a bit of explaining, so next episode I will cover that. But for the rest of this episode, I'm going to, that is really actually very cool armor. I'm not wearing it at the minute because I want to get it all perfect and exactly how I want it, but I will be wearing that once I have got it all sorted. So yeah, the rest of this episode I am going to concentrate on big reactors, and I've set this up and it's not correct because it hasn't turned into a multi-block structure. So I need to understand this a little bit more. So I'm going to cut the camera out. I'm going to go to a single player world. I'm going to play around with this in creative a bit, get my head around it all, and I'll be back, and then I'll come and finish the episode with some blood magic stuff. And you see that's using more power than I've got, so I do need to get this reactor going. So what's going on in here? Still there, still processing osmium. Cool. Now what I'm going to do before I go is I am just going to, in fact, no I'm not going to do it with that, I'm going to do it with my hand. Come here hand. I'm just going to click on these. Has to be the plate, doesn't it? And at the minute I'm just going to disable them so they don't connect. Awesome. And oops, disable item conduit. So now they're not connected, so just in case it causes any hassle. Don't think it will cause any hassle, but you know, it's appears to be safe. I'm going to cover that back up because it's nice and tidy. Right, I shall see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay then, here we are, I'm back, and I've started putting this back together again. Now I did cover this in the last episode, but I deleted that bit because it was when my frame rate was down at like 5 FPS. So what we've got here is, basically all I've got here is two things up to now, is reactor casings and reactor glass. So a reactor casing is pretty straightforward. It's iron, graphite and yellorium. Now you can use uranium from atomic science, but you get 2 yellowite ingots, uranium ingots, and you only get 1 uranium if you do it that way. If you process your stuff into uranium, that is. So, and this graphite bar is really straightforward. You just smelt some charcoal. So I grabbed some charcoal down from my farm, and I made loads of these multi-blocks, loads of these reactor casing blocks. And then the glass is just a reactor casing with a bit of vanilla glass either side. Gets you 2 reactor glass. So that is everything we're going to need, I believe, of the casings and the glass. Now I actually need to be in there, so just break that again. So I've actually made 4 bits of glass too many, so because we're going to have to replace these with certain blocks that we haven't made yet. So the top could be glass or it could be casing, the side could well be casing. Glass is a bit cheaper when you add it up, that it's only, you get 2 per 1 casing, but it's not that expensive to start with anyway, so that's all good. So now we actually need the other blocks that go in here. Then, so the first thing we need is this thing. This is your uranium, I can't say it, I really can't, yellorium fuel rod. That uses, again, graphite bar, uranium and iron. And on top of that we need a block called a reactor control rod. And there we go. A graphite bar, fucking hell, one of them down there, some reactor casings and a redstone, gets us that. And where that goes is, that goes at the top of here, like so, above your fuel rods. I'm just going to call them fuel rods, there we go. I've won by just calling them fuel rods. And the other key important thing here, I believe, is that block underneath. That has to be a casing, that can't be glass. The rest of this floor could be glass, but I believe that has to be a casing. So there's our fuel rod in. Now we need the other blocks to make this into a proper structure. Now I've got carpenter blocks open because we are going to need access to that control rod at the top. So what I've done is I've made a little carpenter's hatch there so we can get access to the control rod. Now I'll explain this when we get it going. But, there we go. Now this, because this is a carpenter's block, it made that into, it broke up the multi-block structure of this. So I've just swapped these 2 for carpenter's blocks as well to make them, so they're multi-blocks, so it just makes it look a bit more, bit tidier. Always thinking about how pretty it is. Right, so now we need to make a few more things. So if we go into, I'll use my crafting terminal because that's what it's for. If we go into here, what I'm going to want is, I am going to want, so first of all, let's get onto big reactors here. First of all, I need a reactor controller. So that uses 4 casings and some stuff that should be in there. So let's bang my casings back into there. And let's say, can I have one of them please? Shift click the question mark. And we're missing whatever's at the top. Oh, nothing's at the top. Wonderful. One of them. Reactor controller. Then we're going to want a power tap. So we need 4 more casings for that. We're going to want 2 access ports, so 4, 8, 12, up to 12 casings. And we're going to want a redstone port, although I don't really know how this works yet. So 16 casings. So first then we need 16 more casings. 4, 8, 12, 16. And now, so power tap's essential. You need one of them because that's how you get your power out. Reactor access ports are essential. You technically only need 1, but 2 is better. I'll show you for why in just a minute. And then reactor redstone port, not 100% necessary, but I am going to want to automate this so it turns itself off at some point, even though I need to have a little play around with all that work because I haven't sussed it out yet. So there's the blocks we have got, and these need putting into the casing now. So basically, we're on the back here. We're going to have 2 of the access ports. I'm going to click on one. I'm going to change it into an output. By the way, I was just making around in the creative world, and I was using a bound pick, which my bound pick must be in my tool bag. I was using my bound pick and I right clicked by mistake and I destroyed it all in 1 hit. Left all the glass behind, but it took all the casings. It didn't destroy them, it just put them into my inventory, but it took it all apart in 1 hit, so it wound me up a bit. I had to build it all again. In the middle of them, I am going to put my I'm going to put my power tap. Now I'm thinking of wiring this up with the Ender IO cables, so that is where your power comes out. and it's RF power. So I am going to want to make a resonant ender cell pretty soon. So I'm going to have to get into induction smelters and promethium and all that kind of stuff very soon as well. So we're doing a few more technical episodes. The magical stuff might have to go on the back burner a little bit, and then around here we are going to want to put our controller, and I've not put the redstone, left the redstone port anywhere to go. So let's keep this out of the way for now. Let's put it in the side here. There we go. So redstone control, and now if I put this final glass block in, it should turn into a multi-block, and it has. Cool. So you see the sides have changed. This is lit up red to indicate that it is on LAN. It's off LAN, but you know it means it's a working structure, and you can tell it's a multi-block structure, can't you? So let's go through the blocks individually then. So first up, let's get. I'm not going to automate any of this yet. Let's get a stack of uranium. yeah, uranium. So they're going there. And you see, it's taken. What's it taken? 12 to fill them up. So there's 3 rods in there. So it looks like each one of them's got 4 ingots worth of uranium in it. Yeah. So if we're looking here now, nothing's changed. If we're looking here now. Oh, in fact, we'll look in there in a minute. As this thing uses that up, it'll create the cyanite, and the cyanite will end up in here. Because we've set this one out, the cyanite will prefer to go into here, and we can automate this outwards. And you can actually do something here. You can make it auto eject, or you can eject it manually when you want to. Auto replace. Something else we'll have to get into later. So manual, if there was waste in there, click eject it, drop it into that block there. Auto eject drops it into that block where you can then pipe it out. And I believe auto replace means you can feed it through this guy called a cyanide processor, feed it out, and then feed it back in as fuel again. So that's also pretty cool. But we're going to leave it on auto eject at the minute. We could fire this up now, and I think we will. So, right, as far as I could tell, there's no upper temperature limit for these. I don't think it's something that's getting added later, but it seems you can just bang it on. So as you can see, it's heating up. It's producing nearly 1600 RF a tick. Now, if you think that a steam dynamo produces 40 RF a tick, so that's 10, 25. This is like 40. This is running 40 steam dynamos. If you work that out into MJs, I believe that's 160 MJs it's running. So you see the temperature's up. If this blows up, then I guess I'm going to need to rebuild my base. But it's at 113 degrees. It's running at 1600 RF a tick. It's filling its internal buffer. It's got this large internal buffer here because I've not actually got the power connected to anything. I'm not sure what happens when it fills its power. I don't know if it turns itself off. But I might have to. That's why I kind of got the redstone port. So we'll look at the redstone port, and we'll see that you can have it so you can set from a redstone signal to turn the reactor on or off. You can have it so it can change control rod insertion, set from signal while on and while off. So I need to get my head around all this. Eject waste, eject on pulse, so you can set it so it ejects waste at a certain time. Output temperature, active while above, active while below. Interesting. I need to have a really good mess around with all this. What's that? Let's just turn NAI off so I can read it. Output fuel mix. Ooh. Fuel enrichment. So it's very simple on the surface, but it looks like it's got some quite in-depth settings inside it. And then output fuel amount, output waste amount, active while above 0 millibuckets, active while above 0 millibuckets. So you can make it so it can wait while there's so much waste. Now, to see waste, if we look in there, it didn't show you waste. But now if we go up to our reactor control rod thing up here, you'll see that this guy is set on 0%, and this guy's up to 200 degrees. and it seems to be stable around that though. You see it's produced 1.1% of waste, so I guess when it's at about 33%, that'd be 4 ingots worth if this thing's holding 12 ingots. I'm not sure, but it looks like there's the fuel there is the uranium, and the waste is a cyanide being produced. So we've got 12 ingots worth in there. So I presume once that ratio sets as an ingot, then that'll be produced as the cyanide. Because we won't have any in there yet. Oh, that's still empty. This guy is nicely filling up. A couple more things to do before it fills up. I want to see if it fills and then turns itself off. Well, there's other things to look at. Is one, the control rod set to 0%. We can control this by putting this up, and if we put it right up to 90, I think if we put it up to 100, nothing will get produced. If we put it right up to 90, you'll see that our heat's gone right down, but so has our RF output. Check that out. So our RF output's gone real low, but it's a lot safer, I guess, even though it doesn't seem to be blowing up anyway. I say that, then I'm going to blow it up, aren't I? And then, so let's put that back on to 0. So it seems to work fine. Right, it's full temperature, so that's okay. Now, I'm going to turn this off a sec. Another thing we can do. So that was running at 1600 MJ, 1600 RF, I mean. I'm going to break this. I hope it doesn't lose all of what we've built up, but I need to be in here a second, so I'm going to break them 2 blocks. What I'm going to do now is spaz about a bit. Look like an idiot because I can't actually climb inside a structure, and I want my water sigil. And I'm going to fill this guy up with water inside. Now I probably only have to do it from the top, but let's have I'm gonna rip my floor and everything. This brick you and pick you up. Go on, flesh, you fool. Oh, everything. I make everything hard. For now. That was not a double entendre, or not intended as one. I guess double entendres are never intended as double entendres, otherwise it's the whole point of it, isn't it? So it's making real hard work of this. Fill this guy to the brim with juice. Let me out, please. Oh, don't be like that. Come on, you. I'll be back in a bit. And I'm back. I got excited about bricking my carpet. I went in from the back instead. That was pure because I didn't. If you pour water on this, it picks the carpet up, it bricks these things, it flows down through all the rest, it makes a right mess. So we've got it back together, and I placed that last block back, and it's still got all its fuel. It's turned itself off, but it's still got all its fuel. So now if we turn this on, nothing's changed apart from we've added water. But check it out now. The heat, I think, is going to settle out much lower, and the RF has gone off even more. So we're running, what's it going to settle out at? It's about 2200 RF, so it's getting an extra 600-ish RF, which is an extra 60 MJs. So we're putting out a shit ton of power with this. So there we go. So like, last thing I want to do then is see what happens when this fills up. Will it turn itself off? Will it start to overheat? And then we're going to wrap up the episode. Between episodes, I am going to get things in place so I can start next episode by making a resonant ender cell. This guy. So a resonant ender cell needs quite a few things. First of all, it needs a redstone energy cell, which needs a frame, which needs a fluid transportable liquid redstone. So the same as it was in earlier versions of Family Expansion. The lesser cells, the leadstone, the hardened, don't need the fluid transporters and stuff, but this one does. So yeah, we need one of them in there, so we need to make that, and that holds quite a lot of power as it is. But, what's that? 10 10 million RF. So that's pretty cool. And then to make it into a resonant ender cell, we need these things around it, enderium. And enderium we make by, in an induction smelter, using enderium blend and promethium dust. Enderium blend is pretty straightforward. That's just tin dust, platinum dust or shiny dust, and a resonant ender bucket, which of course is going to come from the magma crucible, same as a resonant ender does. And then it needs parethium, yeah, which is just similar to making the charge things, but it's got redstone instead of gunpowder. So I shall get on with making that. This just crashed me. What did I click that with? Was that my pick? It was my pick. I know you used to crash quite a bit if you click stuff with a tinker's pick. I wonder if that was to do with that. So that guy's full. It's still on. So I'll turn that off. No, something's gone wrong here. Oh, it's offline. So activate. So it still puts out power, even though it's got nowhere for it to go. So that's good to know. So I'll turn it off. So I've got, look how quickly I've built that up. 10 million RF. So it needs some kind of redstone control on the power, so that we can set toggle on pulse set from signal. We want some way of detecting when this is full of power. I'm not sure we're going to do that yet. Possibly using the power thing from the Ender IO. But anyway, there we go. We have got a big reactor that's putting out a massive amount of power. So if you think about this, once I've got all this wired up, I can get rid of the steam boiler down in the basement. That was always temporary. I wanted to do something different in this series. So we can use this instead. We're going to need to make sure we've got enough yellorium coming in. Now we've got 2 stacks still there, and I've got loads of ore as well. I think 574 ore. So there's another 1200 odd ingots. And if we're looking here, we probably haven't even used any yet. Well, still 52, so it's still got the first 12 in there, and we ain't got any of that yet. There we go. I hope that was entertaining. There's a first look at big reactors, and a quick recap of the stream, and a first look at Witchery. That doesn't have a H after the W, so I don't know why I said it like that. So yeah, there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you join me next time. Cheers. Bye.